Welcome to a new episode of Ain't Got Time to Read, the place where I read a story, give you a breakdown of the plot, and simply save you time. Now, before we continue, here is your spoiler alert. If you have not read the story I'm about to discuss and you do plan to read it, then you may want to avoid this video or watch it at a later date. So that being said, let's dig into the plot of today's story. The story begins with Moe's big left ear working on his homestead and being attacked by a swarm of cursed earth spiders. Uncle Flatface is paralysed by the spider bites and then eaten by them. Mose and a woman jump onto a mutant talking horse named Henry Ford. The horse complains about carrying two people, but Mose threatens Henry with his gun and he gets them away from the homestead and travels 5 miles away to the mutilated town of ATOM Gulch. Mose warns the townfolk that the swarm of spiders are approaching and they start calling it the Black Plague. The mayor tells Mose about Judge Dredd and explains that he is a fair man that will help, so Mose jumps on Henry Ford and travels to Mega City 1. Judge Dredd speaks to Mose at the gates of the city and agrees to help. Judge Dredd arrives at ATOM Gulch and attempts to call in H-wagons to evacuate the town, but the cursed earth affects the radio and they can't get through to Mega City 1. Judge Dredd prepares to stand and fight. It's not long before the city is surrounded. Judge Dredd had told the residents to put everything flammable into the drainage ditch that circled around the town's perimeter. When lit, it does deter the spiders, but they still manage to get into the town and completely cover the schoolhouse. Judge Dredd sets the building on fire, killing the spiders, but his efforts aren't enough. The vast amount of spiders being killed by the fires ends up smothering out the flames and allowing the spiders into the town. Judge Dredd continues to fight off the spiders by blowing up trucks and using fire to his advantage. Eventually the spiders stop and begin to head east towards Mega City 1. Judge Dredd decides to head for Mega City 1 and warn them. Henry Ford refuses to take him, but Dredd holds a gun to his head and convinces him. When they reach H-Bomb Bridge, the spiders have already begun to cross it. Henry Ford doesn't want to, but Dredd insists that they run through the swarm of spiders. They charge through. Judge Dredd kills as many as he can, but Henry takes a tumble and Judge Dredd falls off his back. They both manage to get up and Judge Dredd gets back onto Henry's back and they make it across the bridge, but Henry collapses as they realise that he has been bit and the paralysis has taken effect. Judge Dredd tries his radio again and manages to call in a H-wagon with lifting apparatus. They arrive in time and lift Judge Dredd and Henry to safety before the spiders reach them. They return to the city and Judge Dredd informs them about the swarm of spiders. The judges fire liquid fire shells at the swarm and burn the approaching spiders. When the judges go out of the city walls, they believe that they have succeeded in defeating the Black Plague. Unknown to the judges, the spiders burrow down into the earth and manage to avoid the liquid fire. Later that night, once they feel that the ground above them has cooled down, they come out of the ground and enter Mega City 1. The spiders attack and eat any judges and civilians that come across their path. The civilians panic and there is chaos on the streets. Judge Dredd has no choice, and after mass evacuations, he has the sector bombed by H-wagons. High explosive and incendiary rounds are used. Unlike in the cursed earth, the spiders are unable to burrow down into the concrete and perish in the fires. Henry recovers from his bites once the smoke has settled from the destruction and he returns to the cursed earth. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you with the next video.